Live from Ohio University, you're watching WOUB2, television for Athens County.
A family is suing Hudson Health Center for negligence regarding their daughter's death.
And Hocking College is seeing an increase in non-traditional students.
People needing state aid may have to face drug tests in order to receive help they want. All this and more coming up on Athens Midday. Tens of millions of dollars is coming to OU. Good afternoon, I'm Stephanie Crace.
And I'm Emily Hanford. The money is not a gift, but proceeds from an Ohio University invention are being used worldwide. Ohio University will receive over $50 million within the next 5 years for the invention of a new drug. OUN researchers invented Somavert, a drug used to treat a form of gigantism. This disease is often associated with enlarged hands or feet, facial disfiguration, and organ disorders. The $50 million will be used for new biomedical research and technology at the university. Vice President for Research, Rathindra Bose, says this will be beneficial for the faculty and students.
So I think this is a win-win situation for enhancing university's reputation, exposing our students to get really good training, and they would be part of this discovery, and also hiring the best faculty that we possibly can at this point.
OU's President Roderick McDavis says this is the result of nearly a quarter century of work focused on the discovery of the drug that helps people around the world. The Ohio State University will receive the largest gift in the university's history. The founder of Victoria's Secret's parent company, Limited Brands, is giving OSU a $100 million gift. The money will go mostly toward Ohio State University Medical Center and its Cancer Hospital Research Institute.
Hudson Health Center is being sued in connection to the death of a student. Almost 1 year ago today, OU freshman Andrea Robinson died from a case of bacterial meningitis. Robinson's family is now suing Hudson for $25,000 for negligence and wrongful death. Joseph's claims that Hudson failed to treat her properly, contributing to her death. Hudson has now been under new management with the OU College of Medicine since Robinson's death. This morning, we asked students how they feel about the treatment, and they've gotten there recently.
I feel like they did a much better job than previous years. I feel like it's getting better. Service.
At first I was frustrated because I was just sitting in the waiting area, but then once they realized that I was wearing sunglasses and was affected by the light with my migraine, they took me into a back room and they immediately gave me a shot of the medicine to help me.
Hudson Health Center is currently making no statements regarding the lawsuit at this time. With the job market tight, more unemployed workers are returning to the classroom. That's meant more non-traditional students at Hocking College. Athens Midday reporter Brad Evans is live in the newsroom to tell us about the trend. Brad?
Finding a job right now can be tough. That's why people we met on campus, like Marcy Wagner, are going back to school. But balancing work and home life can be challenging.
My dream job would be to be a payroll accountant. I would like to work in a business keeping track of everything, really.
Marcy Wagner is working on achieving her dream at Hocking College. The 37-year-old married mother of two is in her 5th quarter.
Full-time student, work part-time, and then 2 children.
Wagner says she keeps her kids in mind while working on her degree.
I'm going to better their lives as well. You just have to keep that as part of your thought process. This is better for all of us.
The recent downturn in the economy has led to an increase in enrollment at schools like Hocking College. And that means that more non-traditional students are returning to the classroom. Kenzie Love deals with transfer and non-traditional students at Hocking College, which make up 40% of the student body.
I think that's one of the major roles for Hocking, is to provide training for people who may have lost their job.
Most non-traditional students at Hocking start with an associate's degree and can continue to earn a 4-year bachelor's degree.
Yes, with the economy the way it is, we have seen an increase due to that because jobs are so difficult right now.
But Love says there's help available if you are considering going back to school.
I think it's important to know, for people to know that there are options out there with, you know, financial aid, things like that.
It is tough financially, but it is worth it.
Now Hocking College's enrollment is up by about 4% this year. The fastest growing fields are in allied health and nursing. Reporting live in the newsroom, Brad Evans, Athens Midday.
Thanks, Brad. Governor John Kasich is being sued. State School Board member Martha Harris is taking the governor to court in an effort to retain her seat. Harris is an appointee of former Governor Ted Strickland and is being replaced by one of Kasich's own picks. He says he is concerned about the legality of Harris's work in the last election. Kasich replaced Harris with Angela Ty Bennett. The school board is made of 11 elected members and 8 appointed members. So far, 6 of those 8 appointed members have been named by Kasich.
Need welfare benefits? Well, take a drug test. That's the idea behind a new bill proposed in the state Senate. Athens Midday reporter Mike Holden is live to tell us more about the proposal that may cost people who can't afford it some extra cash.
That's right, it's Senate Bill 69, and if passed, welfare users would have to take a drug test to be approved for state aid. And not only would they take the test, but they'd have to pay for it too.
People are going to be at a point, at a financial point in their lives where they need public assistance to get by. They shouldn't be doing drugs, and they shouldn't be spending public dollars on those drugs.
That's what lawmakers hope would happen with mandatory testing for drug and alcohol abuse. According to the Federal Department of Health and Human Services, about 10% of people who receive government aid use illegal substances, paired with about 7% who don't get any aid.
Surely some people are cheating the system, but you don't get enough money to get by on it. We have all kinds of people with health problems. We have people who are single parents. We have people who are unemployed.
A retail urine test can cost up to $40. The test described in the bill does not have a set price yet. Some people that disagree with the proposal are saying it may take grocery money out of the pockets of the poor.
They don't have a lot of extra income where they could afford $20 for a drug test that they don't really need for the most part.
At least 27 states have proposed drug testing for welfare applicants in recent years. Michigan is the only one to implement the testing in 2003. Drug testing could help identify people with drug and alcohol problems and direct them to treatment, but currently there is no funding in the bill for any treatment programs. Reporting live for Athens Midday, I'm Mike Holden.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone driving down Mill Street today should be cautious. Drilling will occur in 4 locations between Lash and McKinley Streets until 4 p.m. The engineering department is trying to see if rock beneath the roadway might cause problems for a sewer line replacement. Two-way flagged traffic will be maintained near equipment, but the street will remain open.
Police say there is nothing connecting the fires at 2 downtown Marietta buildings over the weekend. The Ohio Fire Marshal's office says it was unable to pinpoint the exact cause of the fire at the Rags to Riches building. They are continuing to investigate a suspected arson fire at Austin's restaurant, also located on Front Street. 2 other popular downtown eateries were also targeted by thieves over the weekend. 2 of 5 Front Street businesses damaged in those fires this weekend have been reopened, but some of the business owners say they are concerned the remaining closed signs may be killing their business. They say not as many people are coming to the area, believing that all the shops are still closed. The Marietta Chamber of Commerce is urging customers to support the businesses. They also hope the remaining 3 businesses will reopen before the spring tourist season. The businesses say they hope to be open soon. Fire experts say the onset of spring fire season is near. Already, drier weather is causing problems. A brush fire took place yesterday in Lawrence County along Ohio 243. Firefighters from Proctorsville and Chesapeake Volunteer Fire Departments fought the fire in the Bradrick area. No one was hurt and there was no property damage, but it is unknown how much land area was involved. The brush fire was reported shortly before 6 p.m. and firefighters were clearing the scene an hour later.
The mother of a 4-month-old baby who suffered severe burns has been charged with child endangerment. Tanya Fish was arrested last week for allegedly leaving her baby unattended in front of a heater last month in her Waverly home. The charge was originally a misdemeanor, but changed to a Class 3 felony. The baby was admitted to the Children's Hospital in Columbus for second-degree burns on its face.
Egyptians are trying to immigrate to Italy.
And a CBS reporter is attacked while covering the protests in Egypt.
After successfully overthrowing their government, Egyptians now are targeting their employers. Hundreds of employees at Cairo Airport are protesting today for better wages and health coverage. Workers at the country's largest textile factory went on strike demanding higher pay and an investigation of possible corruption. The military is advising against further protests because it will delay economic recovery. The anti-government protests across the Middle East could send waves of immigrants out of the region. The United Nations is warning European governments to prepare for a large number of migrants fleeing the violence. So far, Italian port authorities report the most arrivals. More than 100 Egyptians arrived in Sicily, and another 100 went to the other ports. And more than 5,000 Tunisians have arrived on one of Italy's islands off the coast of Africa.
We're learning more about the attack against CBS Foreign Affairs correspondent Laura Logan in Egypt last week. Logan is back in a United States hospital after she was sexually attacked and beaten on Friday. The attack came moments after Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak stepped down. According to CBS, the 39-year-old mother of two made it back to her crew and security team later that afternoon. She was rescued by a group of women and approximately 20 Egyptian soldiers. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni will not tolerate any Egypt-style unrest in his country. Museveni says he will jail anyone who tries to spark conflict ahead of national elections on Friday. Museveni is widely expected to extend his 25 years of power in Friday's vote. His main challenger has threatened street protests if his party's independent tally of the results does not match the official outcome.
It's not violence on the streets, but in prisons that has the attention of the Ohio Senate. The state's prison chiefs told senators yesterday the number of fights between 6 or more inmates quadrupled in the last 3 years. The Senate is considering legislation to relieve prison overpopulation, which could help curb the violence. A voluntary immigration program is not as optional as advertised. Recent documents show the Obama administration changed the rules of the immigration enforcement program, Secure Communities. Cities now are required to run all convicted criminals' fingerprints through an immigration database. The program has led to the deportation of more than 500,000 immigrants convicted of crimes.
The nation's first summit promoting collaboration among unions and administrators is finishing up. About 150 school districts from about 40 states sent teachers, school board members, and administrators to Denver to talk about working together. The Obama administration organized the two-day meeting, which started yesterday. Will the weather keep warming up? Christy Zontini has our weather coming up.
And there's even more flooding headed for Australia.